what better vast oasis of a certain level of solitude, I think that's the pearl blossom bush, can we possibly expect to experience and enjoy out here? The sun is in the afternoon beyond this bluff, this rise, if you will. Beautiful, gorgeous, sculpted by nature. No group of people could have possibly done any better. And with that, it's time for a bit of a respite, or respite. We've got some trail, road food, whatever you want to call it, transportable goods to snack on, especially if you don't have the benefit of an oven or a stove. And I'd like to take just a little bit of time. We're going to open up a couple of these. I don't think that we've talked about any of these in the past. However, we have, or I have, used a few of these from time to time. See if we can get this to kind of stabilize a bit. And beautiful smooth-sided tarp. That's the flush side or the smooth side down. A bit of water resistance. This has that kind of almost like a, it's not wool, but a very soft texture, a bit of an insulation texture. And of course here we've got the chuckas that have been holding up for some time. A perfect location for continuing with the chuckas, right? Desert, I think that's what they were kind of designed for. So with this in mind, let's try to endeavor into some of these just a bit. Let's start off with a little bit of protein. We've got O'Brien's Turkey Jerky, herb citrus flavor. I like this because, again, it's got the resealable Ziploc type top. I guess this would be like almost having another meal. Got an aircraft overhead. The consistency of this jerky, it's obviously got the flavoring on the exterior. A bit dry. This would actually be pretty good to toss in with noodles on the campfire. The flavor is not very strong. That said, what I'm trying to say is it's not overpowering. Well, there's a bit of an after flavor there. So, in a camping circumstance, toss that in with your dry noodles as they're being heated up by boiling water, and be a nice wow, yeah, definitely on the dry side. Definitely a nice protein to add in there. Wow, well, it took just a bit. So, let's follow up with this Larissa's Kitchen 100% grass-fed beef. Gluten-free. This is a Szechuan peppercorn, so I anticipate nice aroma. This feels quite a bit less dry, a bit on the moist side. A bit easier on the palate, or a bit easier on the tongue. Not quite so dry, not overly moist. And again, nice addition for your noodles if you're so inclined. Now, all of these are pretty lightweight products, and although I normally like to have smaller bags, especially backpacking or a small go bag, could be open, deflated, because there's a lot of air in this one. This is Annie Chun's organic baked seaweed crisps. I dig seaweed. Personally, I'm sure a lot of you do. This is an extra crispy brown rice chip the seaweed on the outside. I've not tried these yet, but it does say it's organic with sea salt, a hint of sweetness, gotta love that, coming from a lady named Annie Chun. I'm sure that there is a lot of sweetness there. 100% USDA organic. And without further ado, didn't seem to get to the interior part. Let's see if we can pop this open one more. I think that these are resealable. And well, we'll find out in just a moment. But yeah, there's a resealable strip there. That's the content there. These are nice and thin. And very crunchy. A bit of sweetness. There you go. Your carbohydrate base. Pretty low in carbohydrate. 14 grams per serving. Not too bad. Only 1 gram of sugar per serving. And so, not a bad mainstay if you're trying to do that low-carb diet. A little on the salty side. Not anything really wrong with that. And once again, once it's open, air, and let things settle. Let's see if this zip closes properly. And so, there we go. I found that some of these built-in zip closures don't really zip close sometimes once they're open. And this bag has done so, to its credit. The O'Briens, just to kind of double back here, the O'Briens did successfully seal. The Larissas, I've had previous experience with her brand, or this brand, and this did seal properly as well. So, moving forward just a bit, let's see, what would we do if we were having a meal here? About the organic pumpkin seeds, the Scout, S-K-O-U-T, if that's pronounced correctly. Backcountry organic pumpkin seeds. These are spicy Texas chili. USDA organic. Not sure. Oh, kosher. There we go. So, yep, organic kosher. Once again, we have a resealable bag. Zip that open. Toss that aside. We'll be tearing those out because, you know, no trace kind of concept. These seeds I believe we've had in the past. This is what the seeds look like. They're definitely toasted. That may be the spicy Texas chili flavor on the outside. Not too hot, not too spicy. I'm not really a super spicy guy most of the time unless I'm really wanting that. So not overpowering, and again, not too bad to toss into the field table here. The resealable bag does work, and during previous occasions using this Scout product, I've always had it function very well. Matter of fact, I think we've even reused some of these in the field, adding other product from larger containers. So moving along in today's meal, we'll go with the Inno Foods Organic Non-GMO Coconut Clusters. These are non-GMO certified, vegan, gluten-free. See a kosher reference here, but good to go. So getting back to the bag, a little bit more there, and again it has a resealable bag. I've had this product quite a bit in the past. This little cluster is quite delicious, quite the handy little snack, almost like a after meal thing, or if you just have a quick snack, maybe an energy boost when you're in the field. Definitely crunchy, not too dry. And yet the coconut aspects of this are picked up. It's not quite like grated coconut, which I personally don't like. And it's kind of in between a grated coconut or a dried coconut, which of course this is, and very close to when you take coconut straight out of the shell. Obviously not quite as moist and juicy, but nonetheless pretty darn close. And again, if you don't like grated coconut, you don't even like it on a cake or in a pie or what have you, this does not come close to that. And like I said, just personal experience, I don't like the grated version, and this is perfectly acceptable, and actually I like it. It's definitely a go-to snack. Let's cleanse the palate, shall we? This time of year, with the bushes in the background, again, I think that that's called a pearl blossom, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely beautiful, nice scenario, relatively cool still. So, moving on to dessert, we have Baked and Crunchy Watermelon Chips by Earth and Soil. Eat natural, love. I like that phrase. Might use it in the future. Has just one ingredient, no snack, no sugar added, sulfur dioxide free, vegan, 0 trans fats, and cholesterol free. There we go. This does not reference if it is non-GMO. It is a product of Turkey, I just noticed. So here we've got some caricatures on methods to use it, as if you really need to know how to eat watermelon chips. So we'll unseal this one. These are very thin, very thin sliced watermelon chips. They're a bit moist, they're not real crunchy, and there's even seeds in them, so I've always been told not to eat watermelon seeds, but we'll go ahead and try. Well, it's definitely watermelon, and I actually like the texture of that. It's not too crunchy, it's not like a chip, like a hardened, dried, baked chip, just slightly moist. And you know what, if you were to drop this into your H2O, it may even rehydrate a bit. I'm just not sure. We have a hexagonal pattern there, if you can pick it up. What's interesting, maybe the drying mat said it was on, or maybe they press these to process them. I'm just not sure. I'm just sampling a couple of the other chips. Looks like it is pretty consistent to have seeds, hexagon pattern. I'm going to drop those back in the bag for a bit later and see if the block reseals. There we go. And yes, success on the Ziploc. Got most of the air out. Of course, if we were backpacking or otherwise just carrying this on your back, you could press a lot more of this out, or even transfer some chips from one bag to another and fill it up. So, with that said, very nice little pause in the field just now. Couldn't be a much better location. Of course, the strips will come out with us, no trace behind, etc. We'll be getting to this sun soaker solar panel in a bit. It's supposed to be quite the watt generator for phones and other devices, battery cells, etc. And again, just really taking in this natural, gorgeous beauty of a location. Looks like a castle. I should finish that thought. A castle turret. But in any event, let me get back up there a little bit later on. Try to take some of this in. And good to see the pearl blossom bushes sprouting and in their own. Should also add that you want to be careful in cliff areas like this. I was at a location about a quarter mile away from this location, and was going to do the video of our snacks when I noticed a buzzing sound, and there was either bees or wasps that had their nest built into a hole in a section of this wall. Can't say it enough to avoid those kinds of interactions if at all possible. Don't know many people that are bee or wasp whisperers that can talk them down. And I understand that bees will even track the HTO from your breath in dark clothing. Of course, we're not wearing dark clothing today because of where we're at. And with that in mind, take good care, enjoy, and talk soon. And I should probably add as a postscript to our little snack test in progress. Of course, everything's been packed away at this point. Most everything's been packed away. Location is always important. And, of course, when coming into the arid areas, H2O or something similar, incredibly important, unless you happen to have a nearby source. And in this case, completely undisturbed, as you can tell, in part because of the location that we're at. But in better times, this would be your source, or one of your sources, but you wouldn't want to be quite so close to that when the H2O is creating that. It creates a bit of a flash flood issue, and wouldn't want to recommend it. And I just noticed a bit of a indentation there. Not noticed any fauna coming or going, nor any insects, i.e. bees or wasps. But we've got a couple of little pockmarked areas throughout this wall. And of course you can tell by the natural erosion, it's just fantastic. I wonder what kind of acoustics you could get with the right band situated right about there. In any event, avoid this if you think you're going to have rain. This would be a bad area. As you can also tell by some other evidence of runoff over here. Just coming straight across this little plain. So, with that said, just a minor, silly observation. And there we are. Back off into the wild boom.